Hello, welcome to the Free Bin, the Toledo, Oregon Public Libraries podcast. I'm Harrison, and this weekend is Veterans Day, November 11th, and we will be closed tomorrow, Saturday, November 9th, as is our usual habit of being closed the Saturday before a Monday holiday. And I just wanted to leave you with some reader's advisory, some selections in observance of Veterans Day. And I tried to grab a small but varied collection. You know, people come back from military service, you know, they bring their own experiences, backgrounds, values, personalities. People go out on different deployments, different conflicts. It's a day for all veterans, but veterans are not a monolith, just as no group of people is a monolith, and want to have as many different perspectives as we can. So I tried to get some interesting books here to reflect that. So first off, I have What It Is Like to Go to War by Karl Marlantes, who also wrote Matterhorn, which is a New York Times bestseller. This is a reflection on combat, on its effects, and, you know, what it does to a person's personality. It's interesting. It's kind of philosophical. He gets into Carl Jung and religion and ritual and the place of combat in society, in our society. It's interesting. It almost veers into self-help territory. You know, I don't mean that in a negative sense. It's worth reading. This is a guy who has experience. He has 2 Purple Hearts, 2 Navy Commendation Medals for Valor, 10 Air Medals. He was a Marine in Vietnam, is a Marine. I know they say there's no such thing as an ex-Marine. And was awarded the Navy Cross. He knows what he's talking about. And again, this is his perspective, but he offers a lot of perspective. So this is one you might want to check out, by Karl Marlantes, What It Is Like to Go to War. Next, Jarhead by Anthony Swofford. They, of course, made this into a movie. But the book, you know, again, it's not super long. It really is his own experience of the Gulf War. It's a book that I really enjoyed. I feel like I took a lot of lessons away from reading this book years ago. It's a very thoughtful book. Next, In the Company of Soldiers by Rick Atkinson. This is about the 101st Airborne Division in their deployment to Baghdad in 2003. Rick Atkinson, he's a journalist, and he had complete access to the 101st, and he followed them through that deployment. So this is, you know, a journalist perspective of that operation, of the people involved in it. It's very worthwhile, I think. So that's another one that you can check out. We'll have it on display. This one I had to pull here. This is No Easy Day, the autobiography of a Navy SEAL, the first-hand account of the mission that killed Osama bin Laden, by Mark Owen with Kevin Maurer. Mark Owen is the pseudonym of Matt Bissonette, the Navy SEAL. He wrote this under a pseudonym when his identity was not known because, you know, you're not supposed to disclose that personal information. It created some controversy when this book came out, and there was some back and forth about what he was allowed to disclose, what he might have disclosed without permission. I think that the dust has settled there. I'm not sure. This is very interesting, though, because it does, while protecting the identities of the people involved in that operation, it does get into, you know, what kind of guy he is, who is capable of doing that kind of work. Very few people are. It's interesting. This one is a little bit thicker. It's got pictures, if you like pictures, and, another perspective on that and about what SEAL Team 6 does and the types of personalities who pursue being in that elite unit. So there's this one. Next, Pain is Weakness Leaving the Body by Lyle Jeremy Rubin. Subtitle is A Marine's Unbecoming. This offers a different perspective. Rubin is one who became disillusioned with his deployment in Afghanistan. I thought it was worth including here so you can see, the different things people might take away from their service. So again, Pain is Weakness, Leaving the Body, A Marine's Unbecoming by Lyle Jeremy Rubin. I'm going to have that one on display if you want to check that one out. Last, this is by a local author, Paul Ferrell. It's called We're Seabees, Not Regular Navy, the story of a World War II construction battalion. Our World War II veterans, as time goes on, we don't have as many of them among us as we did within the last few years. I know we've lost some folks in our circle who served in World War II, and it's worth remembering all aspects, the combat and the non-combat. So this is focusing on, of course, the Seabees construction battalion. It's based on extensive interviews that Paul Ferrell had with folks who served in the Seabees. And, it's thin. It's a quick go through. It's got, lots of quotes here, lots of personal experiences. The really important stuff that maybe doesn't get recognized as readily, holding up the infrastructure. So that's just a short rundown. We've got lots and lots of books on these and other topics. And have a good Veterans Day and have a good weekend. And take care of each other out there. We'll see you next week. Bye. The Free Bin is a production of the Toledo Public Library, which is part of the Lincoln County Library District in beautiful Lincoln County, Oregon. Writing by Harrison Baker, Cindy Balek, and Denise Marsh. Original music and editing by Harrison Baker. That's me. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect those of any organizations they represent. Good night.